This tree almost killed this ADU project, and I'm gonna go over the top 5 deal killers that you can avoid. I'm the builder Brian, and I have helped on over 500 ADU projects, and out of all 500 of those, there's been a lot of things I've learned that make the project infeasible or more difficult. So we're gonna go over all 5 of the top ones that I've seen that are deal killers before you even buy it. The first one on the list is trees. So trees can render your project infeasible because they could be a protected species. This is something that before you buy it, you have to have an arborist come out and identify what type of tree it is and then tell you if it's something that's protected or not. If it's protected, you might not be able to remove it. So if it's in the buildable area of your ADU, that could be a deal killer for you. The second thing on the list is brush. So brush management is a big thing for fire in California, especially after the fires in the Palisades. So if you have a project that's on a canyon side or something like that, you need to ensure that you understand what types of things are going to be required for the build, like fire rated walls, like brush management plans, and fire zones associated with the California building code. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to build your project how you want, and it's going to be more expensive to do so. Number 3 on the list is unpermitted space. Unpermitted space is something that you can verify by pulling the building record, and you can tell that this was a garage beforehand and it didn't actually have permits pulled for it. So now there's a lot of things that we would have to bring up to code in order to get this thing permitted, like design and architecture, get it through the permitting process, change the foundation, make sure that it all aligns with current California residential code. And from there, there's a lot of costs associated with doing that. So this on its own could add a lot of cost to your project and also add liability. So you need to ensure that you understand what's permitted and what's not on your project and the cost of getting it to the point of permitting while you're still in escrow. Otherwise, it can be a big cost and a big hurdle later on. Number 4 on the list is soil. So if you didn't know, soil is something that's very important to understand what you're working with before you actually start building. And that can be done by a soils engineer. What they do is they'll test the soil and tell you if it's something that you can build on right away, or if it's something that you would need to import, export in order to get the right dirt and compact it correctly to build on. So especially if you're around a cul-de-sac or a canyon side like you see here, this could be a very important thing to ensure you get done early on in the project. Otherwise, you may not be able to build, or it could add a significant cost to your project without even being able to build. The 5th thing on the list is fault lines. If you didn't know, there's certain fault lines associated with earthquake zones that you need to check on before you get your project started, because if you're in one of those fault zones, you could potentially not even be able to build, or you'd have to go through a significantly longer process with structural engineers, with the city, etc., before you could even build. So ensure that when you're buying a project or you're looking to build, you get that checked out right away, and it's a super simple process to do. Otherwise, your project might not be feasible, or it could be completely different than what you're trying to do. I don't know if you could tell, but this project had quite a few of the potential things that we talked about that could have killed the deal. But because we knew to check them up front, and then we had that in our due diligence stage, we were able to identify that none of them were going to be a deal killer in itself. So now we're moving forward, and we're about to rip it on a couple ADUs here. I'm the builder Brian, and if you like content like this or want to learn how to build your next ADU project, like and subscribe for more.